Okay. Hail and welcome everybody to the live chat, live stream. I'll go ahead and share the link around. So wherever you are, just comment down there below. What's up, Matt? Odin's Beard Woodworking, first live commenter. So thank you. Feel free to share the live link as I do the same. Get some people joining here. I'll say hi to everybody here in just a little bit. What's up there, Dingo? There's my Dingo. And Maria Fury, hail, welcome. It's great to see everybody tonight, today, this morning, this afternoon, wherever it is that you are. Please, like I said, be sure to share the live stream link around. Get some people join here. Got a few things that we want to do today. I'm actually going to be working on a rune set, a driftwood rune set with everybody here. But I got this dice rune set and box that I need to get off my hands. We're going to open it up. It's my wife's, right? She made it. She's like, can you help me get rid of it? Can you help me sell it? And I was like, sure. Let's give it a shot. So just got the kids to bed, Matt. Hey, Troy Hartman, hail and welcome. Good health to you as well. Lunchtime for you, Maria. Cool. I just finished eating my dinner not too long ago, which was a bit of fried chicken. Yeah, good to see you too, Dingo. Dingo and I have got, oddly enough, some car issues that we're dealing with. Go figure. Like we were gonna hang out a bit today. Try to spend some time in person with each other, and I've been having some car issues. Just not driving the car too much these days until I can get it fixed. And now Dingo's got some issues himself as well. Troy is at work as usual. Well, you work late and some odd hours, man. On the weekends, that's kind of got a drag, but appreciate you being here, and commenting and participating when and as you are able. I am getting the PayPal link over here, because when we get to this rune box, this rune set box, I don't want to show everybody. Like I said, this is something that my wife made. So we're gonna have it. It's for sale. So I'm just gonna pin the PayPal information to the live chat. It's your weekend, Maria. Well, awesome. I'm in, halfway through my weekend, as it were. Cool. Thank you. Matt, for sharing the video around. But let me just show everybody that's here for right now real quick. I've got 5 people watching. So for anybody that's interested, the box is this. So the lighting is of course, I've got all this light coming in front so I can see what I'm doing here, but it's this is the box. It's all wood burned and stained, but it's got the Elder Futhark runes burnt around the base of it. Oops. You're going to see it. There you go. It's got a Vigdasir burned on the top. So it's got these nice little base on the bottom here, but then on inside, thank you for sharing as well, Troy. Appreciate that. But inside are these Runic Dice. So I've shared images of this box that you'll probably get to see a little bit better. That it's on, if you go down through my Facebook and Instagram and even Twitter, you'll see them better because they're kind of hard to show, on camera live. But there's, if you can kind of get a sense of the size, they're about, I would say, an inch or so square. And they've got the Elder Food Art runes on all sides of the box, so or on all sides of the dice. So comes in this here box. And for domestic, we're gonna kind of start the auction or whatever, as it were. Probably here in just a little while. Hopefully, try to get some more people. But this is going to be up for grabs tonight. We'll start the bidding at a set price and go from there. And the donations or the payments rather can be sent via PayPal. So again, all this is going to go straight to my wife. It's for domestic orders only, simply because the cost of shipping something like this internationally is probably going to be out of the desire of anybody that's listening or watching internationally, because we would have to charge an incredible amount just for the shipping cost. But for domestic orders, we're gonna have a set price. Thank you, Troy. This is a nice box. That is awesome. Yeah, Maria, I know you're out there in New Zealand. I don't want to, exclude anybody. I just feel like, in all fairness, if we were to say, hey, here's the start bidding price, and it gets up to something above that, then we would have to tack on, shipping costs for international orders. So, it is what it is. Thanks, Dingo. Yeah, exactly. It would cost about that much. Yeah, exactly, Maria. You understand. So, if we start the bidding off anywhere as close to that, and then you're basically paying double the price for it. So, not saying that some people wouldn't, but hey, if you like it that much, and we'll see it by the end of the night. So we'll start the bidding here probably in just a little bit, in the next 20-30 minutes or so. And I am going to be starting a driftwood rune set. I actually have two. I have enough material to make 2 driftwood rune sets, and the reason why I'm doing this tonight is not because they're the set is sold. I'm doing it because after tonight, or after these next 2 sets get sold, the prices will be increasing. So tonight I've got 2 driftwood rune sets that are up for sale for the flat rate of $20 US. Again, international shipping would, it would be the $20 base plus the cost of shipping. So, but after today, or after these final 2 sets are sold, the price will be going up. So today is pretty much, your last opportunity to get a driftwood rune set for the price of $20. If you're domestic and you order it through PayPal, that'll cover domestic shipping. If it's international, there will be additional shipping costs tacked on to that $20 base price. But like I said, after today, even domestic orders, the price will be going up. So you might want to consider taking advantage of the makes a donation. Thank you, Maria, for the super chat donation. It's always much appreciated. And thank you. So yeah, I think, I'm going to be having to adjust my mic just a wee bit here and there so I can start on these. But for domestic rune set orders, my birch set will probably stay somewhere. I don't think the prices are going to change for the birch set, because quite honestly, the time that it takes, the production of the final product, as it were, for the birch sets are not as intricate or detailed. They're detailed in a different sort of way. These driftwood sets take about double the time. I'm not doubling the price, but the time it takes to make these driftwood pieces is doubled, basically, if not more or longer than it takes to make the birch set. So the driftwood piece sets will be the ones to go up. They'll be going up. They're 20 now, so it'll be 35 for the driftwood pieces, driftwood sets. Thank you, Troy, for the super chat, who said won't be bidding, strictly craft your own runes for personal use. Well respected, as well as gifts. But thank you, appreciate the donation for towards the channel, Troy, and appreciate your support. You guys that are watching are noticing that, like Troy and Maria, they got this little icon badge, as it's called, because they are members of Midgard Musings. They get the video versions of the podcasts, and they get special live broadcasts. Last month's broadcast for members only there was a bit of a hiccup. Hopefully this month's will be that won't be happening again. And then of course we've got Dingo here, Dingo, who is my Gothi of our tribe, the Hluridi folk tribe, and helps moderate the chats and sees what's going on here. So appreciate Dingo for tuning in tonight. Like I said before, we were going to be hanging out a bit today, and unfortunately for the cars situation for both of us, that didn't happen. But now, as you guys and gals may know, right, the driftwood pieces don't end here. These unfinished looks are just the beginning. Once I get all the runes burned into the piece, I go back over with a different piece on the wood burner, and I shade and I give it a real stressed or weathered look, and that's what makes them take so long. It's a time consuming and tedious process. I've always wanted to be, would you say, Maria, always wanted to be iconized? Awesome. Well, there you go. You are an icon for the channel. So, and your support is, like I said, greatly appreciated. So, but yeah, so this is easier to do, here live with everybody. The line work, the shading and whatnot is what really, takes the extensive time to get done. So hope everyone's doing well, staying healthy. Matt loves his driftwood set. Matt actually has one of my early rune sets that I've ever made, my earlier rune sets. You got several of them, I think, don't you, Matt? I've got I got you one of my first birch sets that I've ever made. And then you also went and got a driftwood set, and I think another birch set, the kind of birch sets that I make nowadays today. So really appreciate it, and really appreciate what you do as well, Matt. Everybody that doesn't know Odin's Beard Woodworking, I think everybody here knows. Matt hand carves wooden god poles, statues, things that can help accentuate your altar or sacred space. Varying sizes. So odinsbeardwoodworking.com is where you can find him. He's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. So definitely be sure to follow his social medias because that don't cost you nothing. And if you're interested in getting, I've got a couple of, actually, I've got three, more than three. I've got four carvings of Matt. Five. See, I've got the big Thor. He's about 8 inches tall, 7 or 8 inches tall. I've got about a 5 or 6 inch tall Odin. I've got my Thor pocket altar. I've got the Freyr piece. He's about 5 inches tall or so. One of your early carvings. And I've also got this little Tonta Nisa, this little guy here. He kind of hangs out with me over on the top of my desk here. So I got that from Matt as well. And then I've got a wood carved necklace with a Thurisas rune on it that he made. So yeah, I've got several things that Matt has procured and made over the years. So I definitely recommend Matt's business, that you guys give him some of yours. Give him the business, right? In a good way. So there's Urus. There we go. All right, Maria says, let's see, Freyr is bigger than 5 inches. Yeah, that's just Freyr. You know, this is the altar space Freyr. You know, Freyr is much bigger than 5 inches. Absolutely. But Maria says that finally, after many years, you're now part of a small tribe. Very nice. Anglo-Saxon heathens, cool. Midwinter bloat soon. Yeah, you guys are coming up on that time of year. So congratulations. First of all, congratulations on finding a place, finding a tribe of sorts to call home. That's really great. Glad to hear that. Um, it's not something that you ever want to rush. You know, that's something that you want to take time to find because you know just for the sake of joining something, you know, you can definitely pair yourself up or team yourself up with the wrong crowd if you're not careful. So, you know, doing your research, finding out, um, you know, what your group's about, um, have similar, not to say everybody should have the same approach to things or even the same way, but, you know, have a common ground enough, close enough, you know, you should, like-minded, as it were, on a lot of things. Like I said, everybody does things a little bit differently. Their hearth cults, their individual cultic practices. It's like Dingo and I, or you know, and some of the other folks that are all either already part of the tribe or whatever. It's not that it's you got to do everything the same way, the same at the same time in your hearths or homes. But when it comes together, you know, for tribal events, it's that's where you got to have those common grounds, that those similarities, on how you view things. That's very important, um, for building and maintaining a strong tribal culture. You know, so glad to hear that. I'm always happy to hear about when people find a tribe to call home. You know, good old phallic joke, right? Well, it's fair. I mean, come on, you can't not, you know, you can't not just but help yourself with that. Papa Frere, big deep Papa Frere, right? All right. That's the thorn. Thurisas. And so the aesthetic, the look of them change very much over time when I get to add that little weathered look, shade it a little bit differently. But this set and the next set that I make will, photos and stuff will be up online. They'll be $20 for domestic shipments. But after that, after these next two, they're going up. So if you want one, now's the time. Maria once joined the AFA. Uh-oh. Once, she says, for a blink of an eye, nasty experience. So made me be really cautious. Without knowing the details, and I wouldn't ask what those details are, without knowing the details, just the fact that you said those three letters, the AFA, not surprising in the least that you had a nasty experience, as you said. So I'm glad that you were able to find something much better than the AFA and realize early on, at least, that this ain't the way. AFA ain't the way. And it's a challenge, because sometimes you just don't know until you become a part of something. Sometimes you don't know until you get there. So, but I think there's enough information out here now that anybody that's considering teaming up or joining the AFA should know, do not recommend. So take it from Maria and take it from myself, who, although I've never been a member, know people who have, and know people that are and have been associated with the AFA. Not the kind of folk you want to tie weird with and share or try to build frith with. Not by a long shot. So we finish up this this rune, and then we will for the time that I'm here bidding, I guess I see some new people coming in. We've got a rune box that I'm about to be auctioning off. So my wife made it. It's a wood burned project that she did with the Elder Futhark runes burned around it. The Vegvisir burned into the top of the lid of the box, and then inside are about 1 inch square dice-like runes. Of course, again, Elder Futhark. The AFA told, wow, Matt, yeah. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with folk. It's folkish. Folkish is where you run into the issue. Kind of have to really be careful and tread carefully anytime you talk to people who identify or claim folkish as their heathen past. So there's Ansus. So let me show you this all real quick here before we continue, while we still got plenty of people here. If you're new to the channel, say hello, drop a comment down there. Please don't forget to subscribe. Check the description for all the ways that you can support. Become a member if you so choose. But here's the box that's going up for auction. Okay. Don't start on the folkish thing. Yeah, that's a horse that's been beat to death a lot. All right, so here's the box. Try to get it to where the light is shed on it. So again, like I said, we've got a will it capture if I stay still? There we go. Vegvisir, runic compass burned into the top of it. The Elder Futhark runes are burned all around the base. And my wife made this, by the way. So it's unique. It's unlike, you know, there's I don't have another one of these. And then inside, yes, Dingo, say hi to her for me as well. Inside are these 1-inch square runes, runic dice. You know, so they're just wooden, kind of stained wooden runic dice. So this item is going up for sale, but it's we're gonna kind of auction it off because my wife worked very hard on this. I don't know how many hours she spent into this between, you know, these small squares, burning the runes into each of these, the intricate line work, burning into the lid with the Vegvisir, the runes around it, staining it, sealing it, etc. She spent a lot of time, you know, working on this. So we're gonna open this up. $45. $45 gets you the box and the runes. That covers shipping domestically. Like I said, I really don't. I want to try to avoid, you know, the international thing, because for almost that much, or that much, or possibly more, it's going to cost just to ship it to you. But $45 opening bid. If you are interested, put 45 down in the comments, the live chat. And we'll start from there. So opening bid is $45, and this all goes straight to my wife. This is all going straight to her. The PayPal information is pinned to the live chat. I'm just reading the chat here. Yeah, most reading Maria's comment, most of the higher ranking men in the AFA just play at being sharp dressed men. Always got this. Yeah. It's just a nasty group. Not to mention, just I knew a guy who had been part of the AFA at one point, and then he wasn't, but he knew some of the folks there, still kept in touch with him. And they were like, yeah, we need a kindred built around this area, that area. And he was almost like slick trying to recruit people to join the AFA. And I was like, no, I mean, I have my reservations, man. He's like, oh no, it's not like that. It's not like that. And then it turned out the guy was trash, for the reasons that I had suspected. So I'm like, hey, you couldn't hide it for very long. That's for sure. Also, real quick, I wanted to show everybody here, in case you hadn't seen it, just kind of show everybody as best I can, show everybody in person our tribal drum, and tell you a little bit about it. Maybe you'll be able to hear it. I don't know. But here is our tribal drum. It's made of bison skin. If the thing will catch. But yeah, so this was made by Fjallvetur Workshop out of North Carolina. The frame is birch, of course. Everything that's holding this together back here, this is all tendon and sinew, you know, actual animal pieces, parts of the animal. Now I'm not sure if anybody can. I'm not sure if the camera is going to be able to capture it or not. Probably not. But on the inside of the frame, on the inside of the frame of this is the name of our tribe. You can kind of see as I turn, you know, down in the perimeters here. It's upside down, but they're the younger Futhark runes, the name of our tribe. So, and then the imagery on here is actually very unique as well. I don't know. So as you can see, like this area up here, I'll move my hand away. This area that I'm pointing to, this part of the drum, that there, as you can see, like they look like 3 half circles or 3 huts, and that represents the 3 founding members of our tribe, myself and Dingo and another fellow. His name is Patrick, but that represents the founding hearths of our tribe, and then the roots that are the trees and stuff that are growing up out of it. The this part down here, if I can get it. So goodness, I'll try to get this to where it'll show up. Maybe it won't. This background is not liking. If I change it real quick, hold on a second, folks. I want to see something to see if I can. Don't want to do that. Just turn the video off. Hold on. I'll show you. Hold on just a second. Background. Oh, will this work? Maybe this will work a little bit better for just a second. Let me turn that off for just a second so you can kind of. Okay. No? Yeah, maybe. That's almost worse. Okay. Well, I tried it. But anyway, this boat, there's a boat. I'm gonna keep trying because I'm stubborn like that. Yeah. So right down here, that like boat looking thing is representing the journey of our tribe's growth. And then there's of course like the runic staves and things that go around it. But you guys can hear, hopefully you can hear. We'll see. Maybe it'll pick up. You guys hear any of that? I don't know if the mic was picking it up that good, but and even if I like record it with like just my phone or whatever, like you can't, the recording of it doesn't do it justice. It's got a very deep, baritone sound to it. The rod, the beater is made of maple. It's got horsetail tassel, and it's leather wrapped, padded. Dingo, my goatee, you can hear a little bit, Maria. Kind of quiet. Yeah, I kind of figured as much. Would like to work on with my goatee. He's a musician. Recently added a ritual and meditative drumming to your practices. Isn't it great, Troy? Like, isn't that awesome? I've only recently, I've always kind of vibed on things, and when it comes to meditation and whatnot, the drum really helps. Kind of help get you into that like meditative state. But before I've had the drum, it was just tapping or whatever I could do at the time. But man, ever since that drum's come into my life, I'll tell you, it's been like really helped on that aspect. Trying to get into the shamanic type things. But anyways, what I was saying is my goatee, Dingo, he is a musician, and there's a project that he was, I think, going to be, whenever he comes back and talk to it, like revitalizing it, resurrecting it as it were, but making it strictly for, like tribal music and stuff, for our tribe. I mean, using that drum, and we want to incorporate the use of the drum into new music that he writes. So that's exciting. Make a drumming video tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, there he is. Got a drum. Oh, cool. You got a river in the front yard now. Awesome. Welcome back, Dingo. Yeah, we're talking about you. We're talking about the drum. We just tried to hey, that actually shows up pretty good right there. So yeah, that boat that you see like right here, represents the journey of the is used in as part of the runic staff. Building this tribe. Lost you for a second. Sorry about that. Not sure what was going on. Had a little bit of an interruption, but we're here. Whatever. Yep. Degtrus, right? Sweet. All right. Sorry again for the interruption, folks. Not sure what was happening there. But back to it. Back to the rune set burning. Once again, the runic box that we have is up for sale. It's a starting bid is $45 if you want it, or you want to bid on it. Yeah, it did go glitchy there. I'm not sure what happened, Dingo. Had something like that happen last month during the members only live stream. Yeah, thanks, Troy. I noticed the same thing. It went glitchy for a second, like, oh, and now it says you're streaming again. Like, yeah, I know. Something like that happened, like I said, last month. But I don't know what it was or why it was what it was. But anywho, $45 is the rune box with the rune set opening bid. So if you're interested, go ahead and drop 45 in the chat right now. Yeah, it's a YouTube thing for sure. I don't really have any problem streaming through Zoom on a normal basis, but here lately, for some reason, well, like last month, or for an example, almost all of my videos that were coming out were getting flagged, or getting copyright claims flagged on them, and I still can't pinpoint what it was that was causing it. But it was a Vietnamese media company that was just it was like a bot that was auto flagging my videos for copyright claims. And it wasn't a strike, like I wasn't getting a copyright strike. It was just preventing my videos from being seen or visible. And I'd have to appeal every single video. I even went to YouTube about it, and I'm like, what is going on with this? And they were explaining that, this isn't something that is on the YouTube side. This is something to do with the business or the entity that uses content ID to identify and protect their copyright information. And I'm like, well, they're obviously doing something wrong, because every video of mine that comes out that doesn't have copyrighted material is being flagged for copyright claims. Hasn't happened over the last few videos, but not to say that it won't happen again. I don't know. It was actually the reason, that the last live stream went kooky during the members only live stream was because of my channel having a copyright claim on it. It's like, at this time you can't stream because you have a copyright claim, and I'm like, what? So on a forced vacation due to some broken tools. Well, man, enjoy the downtime while you've got it. I know you stay busy, but I've got a planned vacation coming up here in just a couple of weeks. Well, not a couple of weeks, but in end of July, a couple months. Get it out eventually. Going up north to visit family. My sister is going to be a new mother. She's right now about 38 weeks pregnant with their daughter. And so she's due any week now. And you know what the crazy thing is that she's still going to work every day, and she doesn't have like a sit down job, right? Like her job is she works for the United States Postal Service. She's a mail carrier. So she's like literally on her feet walking and delivering mail, and she hasn't stopped since they found out she was pregnant. She's 38 weeks pregnant, out to here, and just out there walking, delivering mail like she does. She's like, hey, I'm going to do it for as long as I can. And if I can't anymore, then I'll stop. But she's like, I'm not going to let a pregnancy stop me from working. I was like, that's impressive. She's like, it just takes a little bit longer to get, things going, sit up or stand up from sitting down, takes a little bit extra effort to get there. She's like, but I can still work. And as long as I can do it, I'm going to do it. I was like, well, props to you, that's makes me proud of her. But yeah, it was obnoxious. That's a good way of putting it, Troy. Obnoxious. That's technology for you, though. Sometimes, and I work in IT, so, technology is literally my livelihood. And some days I'm just fed up with it. I'm like, throw this stupid phone away, get rid of these computers. Just want to sell all my stuff and move into the woods. But I'd have to have a camera, right? So I could record things and then upload it later. Finally made it to a live stream. What's up, lol lol? Lol lol. LOL LOL. Well, glad you could be here. We've got an auction opened up. Matter of fact, just so that way everybody, Izzy was the same way. Awesome, Matt. I think that makes for a healthy birth, a healthy child. Because mom's not just laying around all stagnant, not doing anything. Let me update the pinned thing, because I know we got some new people potentially coming in. I see the numbers spike up and down, but for everyone that maybe isn't aware, it's the wooden dice rune set and Vegvasir box. And we're starting that at $45. And if you want it, just comment 45. And then at the end of the night, we'll see who wants it. I'm going to pin it actually here, so that way everybody that comes in, all I got to do is just like, hey, check out the pinned post. But here's what's available. It's a wooden box with, my wife made it. It's stained and sealed, and it's got the Vegvir burned into the top of it. It's got the there goes the Futhark runes, Elder Futhark runes, going all the way around it. And then inside, we've got the actual runes. Will you get in there? Come on, guy. There we go. There they are. So they're, like I said, they're wooden dice-like runes, you know, so they're 3-dimensional. They got the runes all the way around them. But this is $45 opening price. So if you're interested, just comment 45 below. Ryan, you are not too late. We started about just under an hour ago. Nothing too hot and heavy going on, but this rune box that my wife made is up for grabs. LOL, lol, what do the runes do? So I mean, you know, it's open to interpretation. By themselves, they are just literally the an alphabet. But over the years and over time, they have become an instrument or a tool used by mostly in modern practices, at least, used for divination, divinatory type work. Kind of like how you would read like tarot or oracle cards and things like that. They are, well, Maria, you have to go. It's all right. Great that you could join and be here. It was great to see you. Good luck with everything with your tribe that you've just recently joined, and thank you for being here. But yeah, lol, the runes are, like I said before, they're just at the very base level, they are just an alphabet. These are the Elder Futhark runes, and at different times of history, the runes have, you know, you had your Elder Futhark, you know, and then you have your Younger Futhark, which was used to write in modern, used to write in Old Norse. There's medieval runes, there's Anglo-Saxon runes, there's all different kinds of runic alphabets depending on the time period and the language. But that's the runic alphabets were used to write in that spoken language at the time. And then over the years and over the centuries, they have also become a tool for, like I said, divinatory, oracle type work. So I read runes. One of the things that if you become a patron on Patreon of Midgard Musings at the chieftain level, you get monthly rune readings from myself. I'll read a rune for you and email you the meaning and everything of it and what it, you know, can be meaning for you at the time. So I do rune readings myself. I've studied the runes for several years. I'm what some would call a Vitki, but it's I read runes and I incorporate it into my own heathen practices. Not all heathens will do that, and just because you don't doesn't make you a bad heathen. Doesn't mean that you're a lesser heathen for not doing it or a better heathen for doing it. It's just a choice, and it's a, you know, some people may get pulled in that direction. They may feel a desire to want to learn the runes and get into that sort of thing, which is kind of how it was for me. I first came into it and I was like, well, how do I learn this? What am I supposed to do? And I realized that you don't have to do anything. You're not supposed to do it. It's not a requirement. Sometimes you should just leave things that you know, professionals are better equipped to do. You know, people that have spent the years and spent the time doing it. But Take the time if you're interested. Learn them, study them. Here's Gabo. Each rune means something, has a meaning behind it, and they are used in castings or drawings to, kind of get a sense of something, or a question is being asked, what decision that needs to be made. What do I, you know, everybody uses them for some different purposes or with different intent, but that's when you say, what do the runes do? They provide you with a means of writing a written language or spoken language. But aside from that, they provide you with some divinatory tools. It's a divinatory work. Yeah, Matt. I've always got a bottle of water nearby. Got to stay hydrated. Does this one even get open yet? I've had several today. Had several yesterday. But yep, hydration is key. Hydrate or die, as they say. But yeah, appreciate you looking out for everybody in that way, Matt. So as I mentioned with the runes, the rune set that I'm making right now is not up. It's for sale. I've got this one and another one to make, and they're driftwood. And I mentioned earlier that the driftwood rune sets that I make two different kinds. I make driftwood runes and I make birch runes. The birch runes are staying the same price, which is $20 for domestic U.S. orders. These driftwood pieces, though, when I go through the material that I have to make these last two sets, the prices are going up because they take like 2 or 3 times longer to make. So they're going up to $35 a set. But these next two sets. So if you yourself know of anyone, or you know of somebody who wants a driftwood set, I've got 2 up for grabs right now that are going to be $20 for domestic orders. So get it while the getting's good, because after these 2 are gone, prices go up. Take advantage of it if you so choose. It has been getting warmer. It's summer, man. Like, it's getting to be that time, especially in the South. I'm in Tennessee, and Tennessee summers are no joke. They are no joke at all. You'll wake up in the morning and it'll be like 85 degrees with the heat index of 97, 78% humidity. Hey, Godfrey Bear, evening. What's happening? Hail and welcome. Good to see you. I don't know what those Canadian summers are like. Probably not too bad. Let's see. Ryan is asking, how do the Norse view things like tattoos? I haven't done any extensive research as far as, I'm pretty sure that there's, just like in a lot of different cultures, and I know like Celtic culture and things, like tattoos were a thing, like they found remains of people that they were able to determine had tattoos. In terms of how readily available those were able, that you were able to get them done or whatever in the society at the time, I don't know that much about it. But in terms of how it was viewed, I don't have any reason to think that it would have been viewed in any. It wasn't like a taboo, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, don't get tattoos, and if you do, you're a horrible person or whatever. I think there's some I know I've seen some content out there about that, videos and articles. It's been a while since I've even worried about it. I mean, hell, I've got them, as you can tell. um, Hail there and welcome as well. Mrs. says that even 3 times the price worth every penny. They're gorgeous. Oh well, thank you. Yeah, Godfrey Berry. His wife has a set of these driftwood pieces. These driftwood runes. So he can attest. These are just the runes that I'm carving or burning into the wood right now. It's not the final product. They still have to get shaded and added that weathered look to them. Yeah, common practice. They had them and didn't care. I would say that as well. Just again, without having any like official, um, you know, article, whatever. Say, oh yeah, this is so much of what happened back in those days was not um documented well. It was all explained by word of mouth. John Watkins, okay, your whatchamacallit there looked familiar, but the name didn't. Like your low image, whatever the image file. I was like, why does that look familiar? I don't quite remember the name, but yeah, good to see you, man. I'll try to remember going forward that that's you. So hail and thank you. In case you hadn't noticed, there is a rune box up for auction. It's this. I know you just joined, but it's this runic rune box that my wife made. It's got a Vegdasir burn on the top of it. It's got the elder Futhark runes burned all around the edges and the sides. And then it comes with a rune set that she made as well. These are like dice runes, square runes. They're about 1 inch square, but they're 3-dimensional, so they're like cubes or dice. This is open for auction right now. Opening bid $45. So 45 in the live chat comments if you're interested, and we'll go up from there as we see the interest. Due to extensive research on things, I've been doing it for a year now. It helped so much in the journey. I actually have a tattoo of Hugin, and yeah, very nice. That's one of the I have a whole back piece idea that I want to get done, and it's going to incorporate the ravens on my shoulder blades that kind of go up onto my shoulder a bit, as if like kind of like they're flying, whatever. But and then have a section of the Havamal written on going down through my back in younger Futhark runes, all the way down to like my waistline. So it's a big idea. It's a big tattoo project that I want to get done one of these days, one of these years. Yeah, Dingo, you've got them as well. Yeah, thanks, John. Appreciate that. My wife made it, and trying to help her get it off our hands, because it should go to somebody who would enjoy and appreciate the runes and the uniqueness of it. So figured I would get on here and try selling it for her. You know any good books for people interested in Nordic paganism? That is a loaded question, and it's one of the more commonly asked ones. So you'll get different answers from different people, but I actually have a list that I can suggest. Give me just a minute. Let me see here. Now we'll give you some titles. Okay. So here's about 5 different books for new heathens, specifically folks that are coming into this right off the rip. There's a book called Culture of the Teutons by Wilhelm Grunbeck. So if you just Google search Culture of the Teutons, Teutons, Culture of the Teutons. I always recommend We Are Our Deeds by Eric Wodening. I suggest you also read The Road to Hell, and that's Hell with 1 L, The Road to Hell by H.R. Ellis Davidson. That goes into the beliefs that pre-Christian Germanic tribes had about the dead and the afterlife. Another good book by H.R. Ellis Davidson is The Gods and Myths of Northern Europe. So same author, 2 different books, Gods and Myths of Northern Europe and The Road to Hell. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but The Tradition of Household Spirits. His first name is Claude, Claude, and his last name is French, so I'm going to probably mispronounce it, but it's Lecouteau, Lakotu, I don't know, Lakoto. Again, so there's your top, probably top 5 most recommended books for beginner heathens or beginning, heathens. And the Poetic Edda, the Prose Edda, so the Poetic Edda is contains within it a lot of different poems and sagas about the gods and heroes of Norse myth. It doesn't really go into the religious aspects of heathenry, as it were. So understanding the culture of a people and the religious views of those people are what's going to help you formulate your own worldview on things. But if you come from any sort of background that is a modern monotheistic religion, so Christianity or any of the, you gotta like change your entire, you're gonna have to end up changing your entire worldview, and it's gonna take time. If you came into heathenry with any sort of baggage, it's gonna take a while for you to get through that. Troy says, and seconds that We Are Our Deeds. It isn't very long. You're right. So that's a list, for like beginner heathens. Some other books that will help you establish a heathen worldview. This one is, I'm reading from here, is the name of the book is A Piece of Horse Liver. And that's written by John Hufel Adelsainson. You've got Lady with the Mead Cup, Michael J. Emright. Highly recommend Lady with the Mead Cup. That will help you understand the basics or the purpose and the meaning behind the Sumbul ritual. Another great book called The Sacred and the Profane by Mircea Eliade. The One-Eyed God by Chris Kershaw. In the Germanization of Early Medieval Christianity by James C. Russell. So there's 10 different books, 10 different titles that will give you a start, good start. And then get out there and live it. Get out there and be it. Get out there and do it, you know. Thought that Nordic paganism is thought it was gone. Oh yeah, definitely not. You know, if anything, it's seeing a resurrection or a resurgence, and I blame largely I blame pop culture for that, you know, because as soon as Vikings came out, like the TV show Vikings, then you start seeing, you know, companies like Grimfrost and all these other, you know, major corporations coming out with things, and you see a lot of wonderfully talented people coming out with really awesome products, you know, whether it be clothing or you know, they're getting into crafting themselves, making jewelry, rune sets, you know, carvings, things like that. Just it's like they saw that and they're like, yeah, that looks really cool. And then they start researching and they start looking into it, and then it becomes more like a way of life. So what we see on the surface, you know, from like the TV show Vikings or The Last Kingdom or any of those, of course, that's, I mean, it's there for what it is. It's there for entertainment. But if you're interested in getting into it as a lifestyle, as a religion to practice, you got to get, you know, there's a lot of information out there that can be misleading. A lot of what we see in the modern day is just Wicca with a like a Norse veneer, or Wicca with a, you know, Germanic pagan kind of veil thrown over it. So like when it comes to like how, you know, the religion was practiced, again, not a lot of information that we have readily available because nobody wrote things down. It was all traditions were all passed orally. Hey there, Sean. Hail and welcome. Good to see you this evening. Sorry I missed your popping up in the chat there. But thank you for tuning in. We've got a rune box. If you noticed in the pinned comments, we got a rune box that my wife made with the Vegvisir on it. So it's got the Elder Futhark runes going all the way around on the base of it. And then on the inside is these Runic Dice that she burned. Get up there. Where are you? Come on. There it goes. But they're like 1-inch square dice. So $45 for that there, Sean. Just wanted to make sure you saw and knew about it. Good to see you, Ryan. But thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a great night. Have an early ritual. Great. Well, I hope it all goes well for you. Thank you for being here. The Nordics meet up kind of like Christian meetups in a church. So the way, I mean, and Dingo kind of answered it. Maybe some do, but you know, not exclusively. It's kind of like there was a time, right, when Scandinavia was converting to Christianity, and so a lot of the old ways that were old traditions that were being practiced at the time, they became outlawed, you know, under the new rule of the countries and stuff. So you were either, you know, if you were pagan and openly pagan, you know, you would end up running the risk of, you know, being executed. But then there were, so you know, either practice it privately or there were they had kind of ways, I think, at times that they would do certain things that was like, oh, I'm being a good Christian, you know, but we're gonna we're gonna have we're gonna do our pagan thing as you know, when nobody's looking. So I think the Hof, which is like a heathen temple, that I think that existed. I don't know if it existed before the Christianity period, before the conversion period. I'd have to do some research on that to see if Hofs existed in Scandinavia before the Christianization of the area. But a Hof is basically like a heathen temple. It's a structure, a building that is used for religious purposes. So for Sumbel, specifically things like that, you have to have, at least if you're going to adopt a historical approach to heathenry, Sumbel is a ritual that you have to do indoors. If you do it outdoors, that's not Sumbel. Sumbel has to be done inside. So for things like that, for such religious rituals, for such things that require you to be within a dwelling, you know, you could do it at a home, or you can do it at, you know, a dedicated hall or space or whatever, whatever. But the Hof existed as a centralized point for the people around to gather and you know, observe their heathen beliefs. You know, whether it would be Sumbel or whether it would be any other sort of religious gathering. For the most part, our rituals are conducted outdoors, but as a lot of folks in modern time will say, not everybody is living in areas, you know, if you live in the city and you know, you can't, like, you know, light a fire outdoors because you live on a city block, or you live in an apartment, you know, things like, you know, burning a big fire or anything like that are going to be a bit challenging or impossible to do. So you kind of have to make the best out of what you got with what you got. So if you have to, you know, observe your beliefs with other folks and stuff indoors only, then nothing wrong with that. I say we live in modern times, and the modern day struggles are a thing. So yeah, it's not a regular thing. Like, I can't think of any time where I had, other than Sumbel, and some of my own private practices, some of my own, you know, hearth cult type stuff. Anything other than that was ever done indoors. It's all been able to be held outdoors at designated places. Yeah, Sean. So the box that I've got here is it's a one of a kind thing. My wife only made one. So if it doesn't sell tonight, you can hit me up on Facebook or Twitter or email me. But we're starting the bid. It's an open bid auction kind of thing for it. $45. So definitely want to help get it off of our hands. My wife spent a lot of time and work on it, and so we need fire. We need to get rid of it. We need to sell it. So hopefully it'll be available for you, because there's not another one like it. So yeah, happy to, you know, answer questions. Lol, 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 lol. I don't know. Yeah, Dingo. I was trying to we've got this drum for anybody that's just tuned in or maybe didn't see it before. I was trying to show everybody. This is our tribal drum. I'll just hold it up here maybe. Yeah, this is our tribal drum and it's bison skin. Of course now it doesn't want to. There. So, boy, this camera thing is aggravating. But it's bison skin, handmade by J.M. Olafson from Fjallvetur Workshop out of North Carolina. Was trying to get people to hear it a little bit earlier, but I don't know how well this mic will pick up on it. The frame is made of birch. All of the handle piece, like this, all of back here, that's holding it together. This is all, sinew. Inside, Dingo, I don't know if I told you, but like inside here, you can see sort of the runes that are going all the way around. These are the younger Futhark runes, and it spells out Thuridi folk, the name of our tribe. So everything that JM put into this, he asked very specific questions about, what the tribe is about, what we're about, what are some things, imagery or whatever that was important to us, and he couldn't have done a better job. I mean, I'm so thrilled with the thing that we got. It was, I think when we ordered it, within like a week or two, it was here. So yeah, beautiful. And the recording sound, whether it be through like my phone or even this, I don't know how well that translated out through this mic out to your guys' ears. But even still, it doesn't do it justice when you hear it in person. It has a very deep kind of echoing vibration to it. It's a very bassy kind of sound, which, as I understand, the tone that you want can be achieved through stretching it as much or not as much, and also the type of skin that you pick, the kind of animal skin. And he's like, you want a deeper kind of thundering boom, on drum that size. He says you want to go with bison. I was like, hey, you're the expert. And again, not disappointed at all. He was definitely able to tell me everything that I needed to know about what I was looking for and listened to what I was wanting. Not just me. I mean, it's a tribal drum, so I have it, but it's ours. It's the tribe's drum. The tribe bought it collectively. So there's Issa. I've already got to take it out, on a hike that I went on last week, and was out there by the water, drumming over the creek while the water was flowing. And yeah, you're right, Dingo. JM he's great people. One of the good ones. Not a lot of them out there, but he's definitely one of the good ones. All right. Let's get on with this next rune. Yeah, not coming through well. I didn't think it would. It comes through okay on the recording on the phone, but you don't hear it well unless you've got like earbuds in or headphones in, something to contain it, kind of pinpoint it. It's meant to be heard and experienced in person, but yeah, I can't wait to hear it out there reverberating off of those limestone shelves out there. What he's talking about is an area in Tennessee that where his parents stay or where his parents live. That is the location of our they. It's been called a lot of things, the Woodland Cathedral. And it's where the rituals get held. A lot of ritual has been held there, but our tribe is that's our sacred space as a tribe out there, and it's like surrounded by these limestone shelves. So just had a freezer at work go out and had to scramble to get all the product into the walk-in freezer. Oh no. Before the store comes. Yeah, Dingo knows. Oh man. Been a weekend for crazy catastrophic things to happen for some reason, I guess, because yesterday I had a thing happen at work last night. Like I'd just gotten back, I was starting to kind of get into my weekend groove, enjoying glasses of scotch and other things, and then I get this email from some pretty important people on the customer side of things, and there was a security breach on a end user account, and just so happened that the affected end user was a vice president. So there I was working for a couple hours last night, making sure that everything was taken care of at the time the way it should have been, because that was not how we want to start a weekend. It's not how we want to go into the work week next week, by just sitting back and, oh yeah, well, this guy's account got, his password got reset without him asking for it, and we'll just wait till Monday. Like, nope, not happening. That's how my weekend started. There's Yera. Moving right along. Got 2 rune sets that I'm going to be making at some point. I figured, now would be a good time to do it. Like, hey, it's at least why not? But these will be the last 2 rune sets for this price, and I'm going to be offering. They're $20 if shipped domestically, domestic US. They are driftwood. After these 2 are gone, they are going up to $35 a set. So if you're thinking about getting a rune set from me, and you like the look and feel of you like the look of the driftwood set, then which, if you're looking for what those look like, if you've never seen one, just you can go to my Facebook and Instagram and look to see what the images are. So these are, longer, oblong, kind of oval shaped pieces. But the final result is not what you see here. This is just the beginning. This is just getting the runes burnt onto the piece of wood. The stylized portion of it, how they're stylized, is what takes the most amount of time. So if you like that look and you want to set while the price is low before they go up, it's $20. So it's just going to be those 2 remaining sets. So hit me up on social media if you're interested. Remember when you were computer tech as a side job, had a client that had FBI virus. Ugh. That's going way back. Huh. Oh wow. Booted the computer up, flipped off the camera. Yeah, fortunately, it wasn't anything quite like a virus or whatever. But basically, what it had boiled down to is the guy that you know had the password reset. Um, his name is the same name as another user. You know, and oh, Wyatt's in here. What's up, Wyatt? How's it going? Good to see you. But this, so we have two different people with the same exact name, and a representative for the service desk reset the password to the user account, not of the person who he was talking to or she was talking to, because there's information that has to be verified that, just because you have the same name doesn't mean that's the same person. And that's exactly what had happened. It was a case of going too fast or not clearly listening, not getting the information verified. And next thing you know, the vice president of global computer services, like exchange based type things, his password got reset. Not good. Hey Wyatt, so we've been streaming now for about the last hour and 20 minutes or so. Nothing exciting beyond just like the conversations, the chit chat. We were talking about some good beginner heathen books. Somebody was asking about some good reading material, what we would suggest. I've got this rune box that my wife made that I'm trying to sell. That's up for auction. And I'm just, working on a rune set to help pass the time, because my rune set prices, they are going up after these last two sets are gone. So, anybody that wants a rune set from me, and it's going to be two driftwood sets. Last two driftwood sets available for $20 after today, or after those are sold. I mean, not just today, but after those are sold, the prices are going up to 35 for the set. So that's about all you missed. Nothing too crazy. Didn't really have a set time that I was going to be on here for, but I figured I would just get on here for a bit and work on this and see if I can get my wife's rune box sold to somebody. So hope you're doing well out there, Wyatt, and everybody. Hope you're all staying safe. How long do we intend on running for it? Much more relaxed. Yeah, thanks. I don't know why. Last night I was up extremely late, and I kind of woke up a bit early. So today I've just been kind of just slow and steady. Had a work emergency. I was explaining that before he got here, but that was last night. So no, yeah, I'm feeling good, feeling very relaxed. Today was just a nice, relaxing day. Probably won't go for too much longer until I get this or once I get this rune set done, I think. Yeah, untimed. I didn't limit myself. I just said, let's start and let's just kind of see where it goes. Get as much time on here as I can for trying to get this rune box sold. So far, the bidding has not kicked off. It's kicked off at $45, but no offers made yet, so it's still available. It is still available. Working on hair throw. I don't know why, but these angles always get me. on this one for some reason. Let's try to get them to where they're exact. But can't replicate rune sets, you know. No two rune sets look alike. Living room drapes in the hall. All right. Well, you know what they say about when you go shopping for curtains, right? Like that's isn't that like a thing that's like, oh, you're making it official. Gonna go buy curtains. Go shopping for drapes. Go shopping for curtains. It's like you finally made the house your home. You've settled in. You're like, yeah, it's time for curtains or drapes. So congratulations. All right, and there's Perthrow. Bliss, boredom, and existential trance state. Hey, I could think of worse things to be feeling, you know. Just buy the stuff and everybody. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're more at home in the caves and in the dens as a proper bear would. Try to acclimate to modern day amenities. It's like, what? What's this electricity that you speak of? This running water that you often complain about not being hot enough or cold enough. What are you talking about? I look at some people nowadays and see how they behave and how they act um, over the littlest of things, and I go, you know, what would happen if they just woke up one day and they didn't have electricity, they didn't have running water, you know, they didn't even know how to make it through the day? Probably not, and that's concerning. I am glad to have lived a life and was raised in a way that taught me what to do in cases where your water is not working, you don't have any electricity, you need heat, you need shelter, you need clean water, all that kind of stuff. I'm so glad to have been raised in a way that cultivated um, an understanding of those things, because that's stuff that you're not that you need to be taught. And if you're not taught it, then you don't have it. You either got it or you don't. Go make a fire then, dingo. Sweet. Don't burn the house down. Back in your day, you had to go outside to use the bathroom. Dude, I wasn't raised, like on a farm, but I have worked on farms for a decade. I've worked on a beef farm. We raised beef cattle. But funny enough, the main, like, one of my main jobs during the day that was not working on the farm, like what I would earn a living, the showroom floor of the stove, the wood stove, it was a wood stove, solid fuel. Um, they would sell wood stoves. We'll just put it that way. Wooden stoves, coal stoves, pellet stoves, gas fireplaces, grills, that kind of thing. Did the showroom itself did not, and I don't think to this day, still does not have a bathroom in the building. There's plumbing, but there's no public restroom. There's an apartment that's built onto the building that does have the facility, but there's nothing in that showroom that is that has running water. Hey, what's up, Patrick Walsh? Hail and welcome. So anytime we would have customers come to the store, excuse me, and they would ask, where's your bathroom? It was go outside, hang a right, walk down the hill. You'll see a path that goes up into the woods, and you'll see a red building. There's the restroom. That's the restroom. And they'd be like, no, really, where's your restroom? And it was like, just told you, it's an outhouse and it's outside. And they'd be like, no way. And we'd be like, yeah, you need to use the restroom. You're going to go outside and use it. So a lot of people all of a sudden did not have to use the restroom when we told them that. They'd be like, I guess I really don't have to go after all. Hey, if you got to go, you got to go. And it doesn't matter if it's an outhouse or an in-house or a log or a tree. Like, you got to go, you got to go. So I am very familiar. I would almost rather just go outside rather than have to be like inside of an outhouse, especially during the summer when it's hot, and all those wonderful aromas are just cooking in there. Yeah. Not pleasant. And then forget about it trying to, or having to clean it, because that's a thing, you got to clean it. Outhouse shock. Yeah. No lie, man. No lie. More fascinated. Someone else felt like this. Someone feels like it's impossible to relate with anyone, but yeah. When you go, you gotta go, right? You just do what you gotta do, There ain't nothing to it. You got to sit there and write a novel or check your Facebook. You just handle business and be done with it. How do we get on? I blame you, Bear. I blame the bear. But I don't know. I don't know how we got to that point of the conversation where we started talking about facilities and bodily functions. That's just how it goes sometimes. That's how she goes around here. Sometimes that's just the way she goes. Way she goes, boys. Way she goes. All right. So yeah, rune sets $20 for birch. Sorry, yeah, for the birch. The birch are always going to be $20, but these are driftwood, and the driftwood sets are going up to $35. So if you want a driftwood set, now is the time to get one because they are going up in price after I sell these last two. So there you go. There you go. I'm glad to see Wyatt and Dingo talking about some great things. Listen to Dingo, man. He speaks from a place of experience with a lot of this stuff, and he won't steer you wrong. He's Gothi for a reason. We don't just toss the term around lightly for him. He is our tribe's Gothi for a reason. All right. On tiers 8 now. The final it on this driftwood set just started with 2 Oz. There's 2 Oz. Anybody new that's joining, I've got it pinned in the top of the conversation for this Rune box that's up for grabs. It's $45. $45. Runic Dice. So my wife made this. She wood burned the Vegvasir on top of it. We've got the Elder Futhark runes going all the way around that she burned into it. And then inside are the runes themselves, of course. And they are dice shape, like they're squares, about inch square cubes. Make for a nice gift or to either yourself or a loved one. Need to get a Midgard Musings t-shirt. Yes, there is a link, Patrick. Hold on. Anything and everything that anybody wants is going to be available here. That Linktree link will take you to everything: Patreon, YouTube, my podcast, all the social media. Ooh, I need to add my Instagram to that. Oh, I realize I'm on Instagram and my Instagram's not here. But yeah, PayPal, the merchandise store. Check it out. That's where you can find it all. So thank you, Patrick, for asking about it. And anybody else that's interested, there you go. Need to make some new stuff, I think. It's been a while since I've updated the store. But yeah, t-shirts, hoodies, men's, women, children's, toddlers. That's one thing I need to get. I need to order my niece. She'll be born here in just a couple of weeks. And then we're going up to visit and meet her, visit my family and meet my niece at the end of July. So I need to order my niece a Midgard Musings onesie. Absolutely. Asking about a live stream with Dingo, huh? Hmm. Okay. Well, maybe we think of something. Maybe we come up with an idea. We shall see. Pretty sure that if there's a will, there's a way. And what we can do to, if it's a good ask and if it's a reasonable sort of thing, then think about it. But that's all on Dingo, All right. Talking about my sister giving birth, and I'm working on Arcana. Kind of an interesting timing of things to be working on a rune of feminine fertility and protection and sanctuary. Perfect timing. Indeed. Arcana. And Elwaz is next. Yeah. Never stop exploring. You know, Wyatt, there's things that I'm still unclear about, so don't feel bad. Um, there's a lot of mystery out there. There's a lot of wonder, and there's a lot of things that you think you know at any given point in time, or that you're like, yep, I've been around the block enough. I know what's going on here, and then something happens, or you get a different perspective of it. Now all of a sudden, you're not quite as uh you're not in that position of thinking, oh yeah, I know what's going on now. Nope, not so much. So I still wonder about a lot of things. So don't feel bad. There's a lot to learn out here in this great big world of ours. Wide array of merch. Yeah, thanks. Oh, Patrick, you checking it out? Cool. Yeah. I said there's a lot of t-shirts and hoodies and things. I haven't really gone into a whole lot of other stuff. I think there's some hats and other various items, but the branding of since the branding changed, I tried to update the store with the updated logo on everything, and so that way people are flexing all the right stuff. I need to get one myself actually. I've got one of my old t-shirts from the old batch or the old design. Yeah, things change and evolve. So speaking of, you know, branding changed, had to update the merchandise. So I've got to get myself some of my own merchandise as we're talking about it, oddly enough. Anybody here have Midgard Musings merch? T-shirts, hoodies. I know a few folks have gotten some stuff over the years, but if you didn't know about it, check it out. It was. Thanks, Dingo. I mean, you got to be dressed anyway, right? Might as well be dressing in clothes that support something that you like and that you want to see continue. The way I see it, you can buy local, you can buy merchandise that is small businesses instead of big corporations, and why not? Seems like the right thing to do. Oh yeah, good one, Dingo. Wyatt would love Alex's podcast, Rhetoric Rabbit Hole. I was on that. I was on one of their. I don't want to say one of their first, but I was actually on a Rhetoric Rabbit Hole podcast um, last year or year before, whenever it was. Um, got approached by him soon after I think they started doing it, at least soon after I found out about it. And he uploads new videos like every week, sometimes several a week. I don't know if he's on a specific cadence or a specific schedule, but man, I don't think he does live streams, but maybe he does. But I know that he premieres videos like crazy all the time. So definitely check him out. Rhetoric Rabbit Hole. Yeah, that's right. You were on there, or you were on one. I mean, I remember that. I think you were on one of the ones soon after the one I was on, or maybe it was before. I don't know. Fact is, you were there. You went down the rabbit hole. Came out somewhere. Yeah, it's rhetoric rabbit hole. Um, Matter of fact, I shall link you. I shall link you to his YouTube. As soon as I find it. Oh, yes. There you go. There you go, Wyatt. That is the channel that Dingo's talking about. Rhetoric rabbit hole is all one word. So I was thinking, ooh, maybe he may not might not find it right away if we don't link it to him. So thinking outside the box, isn't that? No, that's Taco Bell. Taco Bell. I was thinking, isn't that a logo or whatever? They're thinking outside the bun. Dong. Thinking outside the outhouse is more like it with Taco Bell. Sheesh. You got problems with your plumbing down there. That Taco Bell will fix you right up, boy. Can't find the box. What's in the box? It's this box. This is the box that I'm talking about, or that we're talking about. You guys didn't realize it this whole time. This is the box you're supposed to be. You can't see it, so you can't think. You can't think in it because you got to think outside it. But yeah, that's the one. My wife made it. She made the box that you got to think outside of. I don't know. Okie dokie. There's Manas. There you go. Four left to go. Age plays tricks on you. Yeah, if you have to stay contained of thinking in a box, make sure the box is full of runes. Alrighty. So winding things down here for the night, or at least for the rune set that I'm making. For no one in particular, but it could be yours. If you're not if you know when this comes out, and anybody that watches later on, if you're interested, just reach out to me. Let me know. Comment down below, whatever. And if they're still available for the $20, we'll let you know. If not, you're still welcome to them. But they're gonna be going up in price. So thinking you might want a set. or know somebody who does. Act quickly. Buzz. The old Ing. Is that why God doesn't exist outside of us because of the infinite fallacy? And it does work consistently. Universe fallacy. I mean, nothing's perfect. Nothing and no one's perfect. Always striving for perfection, but never quite there. Whoa. Almost knocked the mic right out of here. There's Ing or Ingvaz. Ingus. Hey, what's up, Farland? Just now giving you the alert after I've been live for an hour, 2 hours almost. That's crazy. I've noticed, it's a big platform. There's a lot of folks that are using it, obviously, but I've noticed that growth and stuff that I was seeing for the channel has drastically changed very, 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 very recently. Not as many subscribers every day, not as many views. And that could definitely be the reason why, you have all these settings and stuff that YouTube's like, yeah, make sure that you've got it set up for this, make sure that you got it set up for that. And then when you do, people aren't getting those notifications like Farland over here, who's a member of the channel and missed the notification from 2 hours ago when I went live. That's nuts. So thanks, YouTube. You jerk. Oh well. I guess it just is what it is. But good to see you. Thank you for coming in here towards the tail end of things. We'll probably be, wrapping up here soon. I'm just finishing up this rune set. It's not for sale to anyone particular. It is for sale. You can buy it, and you actually can buy it for less than what you would be buying it for later, because I've got 2 rune sets that I'm offering for $20 domestically in the US. After those are sold, these driftwood rune sets are going to be going up in price because of the production time that it takes to make them. So if you like the driftwood pieces and you want a set and you're in the domestic US, one can be yours for $20. So get it while the getting's good, while the up for the grabs, and then don't forget about the rune box that my wife made. I'll post pictures of this and stuff online. You guys have already seen it, I'm sure, on my Twitter and on my Facebook and Instagram and everything that's up there. But $45, and that covers domestic shipping. If it's an international order and you want it, it's it's that plus whatever the shipping cost would be. So 45 is the baseline, but it's an auction. So I'm opening up as an auction item. You know, $45. Appreciate the cool emoji there, Farland. Appreciate that. Showing the love, showing everybody what it's like to be a member of the channel. You got the awesome badge. You got the custom emoji. You know, makes you stand out. Pretty awesome of you, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, that rune box, like I said, we're auctioning it off, $45 starting bid. My wife's trying to get rid of it, and she would love it to go to the home of somebody who would appreciate it. So I think $45 is a fair starting price. You're all good, Wyatt. No worries. No need to apologize. I've been chattering away a bit too with everybody for about the last 2 hours working on this. So, you know, that gives you just an idea. This rune set that I'm making, even though I've been talking, it's taken almost. If I had, you know, no other activities going on, if I wasn't talking to anybody or live streaming, I could probably get this part of things done in less time. But you can tell this rune set is only half done, right? Because I still have to do the shading and everything on it. So once I'm done, I'll share it with everybody. But that'll be work that I do at another time. All right. There we go. One line there and there. All right. And there we have it. Well, that's that. That finishes that. And I think that pretty much finishes up what we got here. Serpent and Dove questions. Do I consecrate the time whilst carving? Thank you for asking, Serpent and Dove. Consecrating the runes. Do I consecrate the runes? Okay, I see what you're saying. I was like, consecrate the time. So when I make rune sets for clients that have ordered them, I don't do anything special to them aside from just obviously working them with my hands and putting the rune into. I don't even seal them when they go out the door, because I want the consecration, I want the blessing of these things to be something that the recipient does personally themselves, because I feel like that's where the power of the runes lie when it comes to like magical divinatory type work. And that's just my own thoughts. I don't think that I can impart anything better onto them than what a person could put into themselves. And as it is, right, from working on them, my hands are physically touching them. I'm gazing upon them. I'm speaking words over them. I'm breathing life, as it were. I'm breathing into them. So all these things that I'm describing to you, the touch, the breath, the sight, the thought, everything, that's sacred in and of itself, I feel, to a certain degree. So there's a part of me that goes with each of these rune sets, no matter what. But that's it. That's the extent of it. So I don't do any other, blessing ritual, or I don't do any other sort of, consecration or whatever on the rune sets that I make for people. So the rune sets that you get, they've obviously been in my hands. They've had my breath breathed onto them. They've had words spoken over them. My intent, my focus, and everything has been put into them. And that's what you get along with the actual product. So the physical product. So principles in nature at work. Yep. It is ritual experience, Dingo. I fully agree because it's more than just, even though, and that's kind of why, like when I'm doing these live streams and I'm working on these runes, and if I seem a bit like I try to engage with everybody that's talking and asking questions, and I try to catch them as they come through. But if I seem a little bit like distracted or I sometimes have to stop what I'm doing to focus on a specific question if there is one, because you get kind of engrossed in it all. You get carried on a journey a little bit because you can't help but think about the meaning of that rune when and as you're working on them. When I think of, or when I'm looking at Othala, I'm thinking of the meaning behind it. When I'm carving or burning Wunyo, I'm thinking of the meaning behind that rune, and so on and so forth. So it does become very ritualistic in its but even at the base level, everything I'm talking about, hands-on, breathing into them, onto them, whatever, like even things that you're not intentionally doing, like, oh, let me just onto this rune or whatever. It's no, the thought, the intent, everything, it's a ritual in and of itself. So yeah, the creation is the ritual, right? Yeah, artists will always leave a maker's mark, so to speak. And that's, thank you, Farland, for saying that. It's I think it has to do with the style of it as well, because anybody else that makes runes, which I would encourage, if anybody's interested in purchasing handmade runes, you've got Matt does some. He has an acrylic mold or something that he makes rune sets out of. His are really cool. You've got J.M. Olofsson from the Fjallveter workshop. He makes runes out of locally sourced material. So the birch and the cherry and the walnut and the oak and the cedar and all the wood is local to his land and stuff that he procures it. Anything that you can do to support them, please do so. But their style is their style. My style is my style. So the creation, the artistry, that's their mark, right? And mine is my mark. And it's, you will know, like, oh, when I get a rune set from Jesse, that's what it looks like. That's what it, it has that look to it and that feel to it. So it is definitely, it's more to me than just making a rune set. There's more to it than that. It's a lot in it for me as well, being able to do it. I get a lot of benefit from dwelling on the runes at that time and thinking about the meaning of it and kind of just getting engrossed into it all. So definitely means a lot to be given the opportunity to provide goods for the people in our communities. Because some people were just like, oh, I don't know what kind of rune set I want. Let me see what Amazon has, or let me see what this company has, or this whatever has. And buy local, buy from the small businesses, buy from those that handcraft it themselves, or that hand carve, or that hand burn, or whatever it is. However they make it. It could be an engraving that they use. That's one thing I've always thought was really cool that I want to get into is stone engraving. It could be just something that's painted, but it means something when you do that, when you carve them, when you burn them, when you paint them, when you send them, when you bless them, when you do all these things. These are part of that stanza of the Havamal. I think it's stanza 144, right? Do you know how to this, that, and the other? Do you know how to send them? Do you know how to bless them? Do you know how to paint them? Do you know how to carve them? Do you know how to write them? Do you know how to this and that? So it's all part of it. It's all part of the ritual. It's not just, oh, let me learn how to write these basic lines and then just let me slap it onto something and be done with it. It's more to it than that. Way more to it. But all right, folks. I think that just about does it for me. Farland says you get your wood from a local landscaper, and if you want a particular wood, he lets me know if anything is being cut. That's great. That's great to have somebody local, that can provide you with those materials. Have you ever considered that you might be God back Satan? All right, folks, that's it for me. Been streaming now for over 2 hours, about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Got a rune set done out of it. The box is still up for grabs. So we may do another one of these soon, but I don't have a set sale price on it. But not letting it go for anything less than 45 domestically. But stay tuned for more on that. Don't forget to subscribe to Midgard Musings. Please check out all the ways that you can support. Otherwise, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Yeah, I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Thank you, Dingo, for sticking around and moderating the chat. Glad that you caught the stream too, Serpent and Dove. I hope that you've subscribed to the channel and have bell notifications turned on. That way you don't miss anything else that I do here. Platforms come a long way. Awesome. Well, it has come a long way. We've all come a long way. This is now the third year of, I think it's 3 years. Yeah, is it 3? Midgard Musings? I'm losing track of time, but yeah, I think it's 3 years now. So anyway, love having you all here tonight. It was great seeing you. Thank you, Wyatt. Thank you, Dingo. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Farland. Thank you to everybody. Especially all the members of the channel that contribute in that sort of way. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you, John Watkins, for being here, and everybody. So you all have a great rest of your evening. Hail and stay safe out there, and stay tuned for the next video coming up here this week. All right, you guys.